Ma'am, you're on the live screen. You may kindly start the session.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. So once again, we are here to start the further learning with Excel. And I expect from your side, you are regularly doing the practice now. Because see, unless practice is not there, so it is not possible to learn only to listen the lecture. Okay. So we are going to start our Excel. So we will learn in this session, we will learn the further formulas. This is the formula list which I am having. This is my formula list which I am having. So we already learned these functions, right? These lots of functions we already learned. Sum, average, and so on. Till in the last session, we learned the if condition. So I'm going to repeat again the last session function which we learned, that is if condition. See, we used this function in this way, is equal to if J7 greater than 1 lakh, that J7 plus 1000, otherwise J7 plus 0. It is already we learn. Now today I am going to tell you how can we learn, how can we use the nested if. Okay, this is known as nested if. Now what is nested if? First you should understood what is nested if. Nested if means if within a if is known as a nested if. If within a if is known as a nested if. See, whenever we use the single if, this is the single if which we already learned in the last session. In this case, we were having only one condition. In this case, we were only having one condition. And if the condition is true, see, always be the condition results are two. One is true and second one is false. If I am having a one condition, then result will be two. One is true and second is false. Whether it will be true or it will be false. So if condition, if then condition, it checks the condition. Then if it is true, then it provides at the true statement. If it is false, then it provides at the false statement. See, here we already use. If the J7 greater than 1 lakh, this makes a complete condition. Okay, this makes a complete condition because I told you, you have to use the conditional operators. For that, you have to use the conditional operators. And this is a one condition. If J7 greater than 1 lakh, then J7 plus 1000, otherwise J7 plus 0. So it is giving me, according to that, it is giving me the result. Same thing we already used here. If J7 greater than 1 lakh, if the condition is true, then it will provide us the senior, otherwise it will provide us a junior. So single if we already done. Make sure you completed this thing. Now I'm regularly I'm saying you, I'm instructing you, I'm saying you, I'm requesting you, please do the practice regularly. If the practice is not there, then it is not possible to learn the Excel or anything, whatever. Suppose you are learning Tally, you are learning Excel, you are learning Word. So you have to do the hands-on practice. Okay, because the computer is a practical subject. Now, we are starting the nested if. Okay, nested if. If within a if is known as a nested if. If within a if is known as a nested if. The syntax are first if, single if, then condition. Okay. Now, if the condition true, then it will provide us the true statement, comma. Now, in a false statement, just provide again the next if. Again, type here the condition and comma true statement, comma. Again, provide here the if. This is known as nested if. Remember, whenever we want to use the formula within a formula in Excel, then it in a Excel equal to sign always be ones. If you are using 5 formulas, but equal to sign always be the ones. So remember, equal to sign, you should not repeat the equal to sign. Then again bracket, then again condition. Now here, this is my condition 1. This is my condition 1. This is my condition 2. and this is my condition 3. Now comma. If condition 3, see how it will be execute. If condition 1 is true, then it will provide the true statement. Then in a false, I provide here the if. This is known as a if, a nested if. If the condition 2 is true, then it will provide as a true. But if both are the condition, like here it is not satisfied, here also it is not satisfied, then it will move from here to here. If condition 3 satisfied, then true statement. Then comma. Then suppose you want to, like you are having only the 4 conditions. So you have to mention the, you are having 4 results and you have to mention the 3 condition. Always be the 1 minus 1. If you are having 4 results, then specify the 3 condition. Then suppose it is not going to be true. One condition is not going to be true. Second condition is not going to be true. Third condition is also not going to be true. Then false statement. It will provide false statement. And close the bracket. How many brackets you starts? 1, 2, 3, 4. Fine. Now I am going to give you the live example, like practical example. Okay. Now suppose here I am having the salaries in this. Okay. New sheet I am doing it. Suppose I am having taxable income and I am taking the incomes, random incomes is equal to rand between 5 lakh, comma 25 lakh. Bracket close, enter. Now I am going to drag it. Okay, and it will be regularly changed. Why so? Because we used the rand between function, and if we refresh the sheet, then it will, by default, it will automatically change. See, it is continuously, it is refreshing. So what we have to do? Control C, copy, open the paste special, paste special, and then values. Then it will not refresh. See, now it will not refresh. If you are pressing the refresh key, right? If you want to refresh your sheet, then what is the way to refresh the sheet? One way is press F9. F9 is a shortcut key to refresh the sheet. The second one is you can calculate the sheet. Okay, you can recalculate the sheet. Fine. Now I want to calculate the income. So how can we tax? Sorry, how can we calculate the tax? I am having 3 conditions: 0 to 2,50,000. 0 to 2,50,000. The tax is 0. Here is also 0. Here is also 0. But 250 to 5 lakh. 250 to 5 lakh. The tax is 0.05. Now 5 lakh to 10 lakh, the tax is 0.20, 20%. And 10 lakh, above 10 lakh, the tax is 30%. Now I want to calculate the tax of the given taxable income. So how can we use the nested if is equal to if this? Now we are having 4 results, 0, 1, 2, 3. 4 results we are having. So we have to put the 3 ifs. Okay, we have to put the 3 ifs because I told you if you are having the 4 results, then use 3 ifs. If you are having 5 results, then use 4 ifs. Right? One always be 1 minus. Now the thing is, from where we should start? From here, from here, from here. If B4 is greater than 0, then 0%. No, because it is always be the greater than 0. So we should start from top to bottom. So it should be from greater than 10 lakh, comma, open bracket. Because we want to, first we want to minus the slab from taxable income, minus 10 lakh. Now plus multiplied by point, or you can directly return here the 30%. And plus 1,25,000, 1,12,500. This is our system, taxable system. Make sure you all are aware with this. Make sure you all are aware with this. See, this is our taxable, to calculate the tax, this is the system. What is the system? if you are having the income greater than 10 lakh, then first from the income you should minus the 10 lakh. Why 10 lakh? Because it is the slab rate. Okay, 0 to 5, 5 to 10. Okay, 0 to 250, then 250 to 5 and 5 to 10. Then multiplied by 30%. After like minus the 10 lakh, you have to multiply by 30%. Then plus 1,12,500. Why it is so? Because the exempt income is only 2,50,000. So our 2,52 up to 5 lakh, the tax will be 5%. So 250 multiplied by 5%, 12,05,000. Okay, one is this. Then 5 to 10, 20% tax will be there. So 5 to 10, the difference is 5 lakh and 5 lakh multiplied by 20%. Then 1 lakh. So total in all 1,12,500 you have to plus. Okay. Now next, comma, if. Again start the if. If this greater than 5 lakh. Then again see why we are putting the bracket here. Why we are putting the bracket here? Because I told you Excel follows the BODMAS rule. If you are not putting the bracket here, then the calculation will be wrong. It will multiply 30% by 10 lakh and then it will minus from taxable income. So you should put the brackets, open and close bracket, because in a BODMAS rules, the rules are first, if you are following that, then it will open the first the brackets. Okay. Now just do the calculation. This minus 5 lakh multiplied by 20% plus 12,500. If again third if this greater than 2,50,000, then this minus 250 multiplied by 5%. Here additional will not be there because this is the first slab, comma 0. If it is not true, then it will provide you the 0. 3 brackets should be closed. Enter. Now see, it will calculate your tax. Make sure you learn in a proper way. Make sure. I'm opening the formula again. Make sure you learn and you listen it in a proper way. How I used the nested if. Make sure. If you are having some problem, then write down in the chat box. If you are having some problem, then write down in the chat box. Understood? Understood? Just type yes or no. Anybody? Try to understand the formula. Everybody get the formula? Everybody got the formula? What is written here? Okay, so that's mean all of you understand the formula. Okay, now I am moving ahead. Okay, now next. Now, when I press enter, then it is calculating the tax, right? It is calculating the tax in a right way. You can calculate with the help of calculator. But the problem is, as per the government rules, IT department rules, we cannot submit the tax in once. We cannot submit the tax in once. For example, I calculated the tax 72,603. How much tax I have to submit? I have to submit 72,600. Why so? Because I have to round it in a tens. So there is a one formula I told you in earlier, that is M round. You should use the M round formula. Then here it will calculate the tax, then comma tens, because I want to round it in a tens. Enter. See, now it is giving me in a round. Tens. It is rounding it. It is giving me in the multiples of tens. It is giving me in the multiples of 10. Make sure you are listening carefully. You are checking the formula carefully, because nested if is a very important Okay. So sorry for the interruption. The connectivity issue was there. Now I'm sure everybody learned the if formula in a proper way. Everybody learned the if formula, also the nested if formula. Getting? Should I move ahead? If you are facing the problem, then write down in the chat box. If you are facing some issue, then write down in the chat box. Otherwise, I'll move ahead. I told you with the help of this example, I told you how can we use the nested if, and with nested if, how can I use the M round function? Because see, M round function is a very important in our field, because in M round, see, IT department rules is we cannot submit the tax in once. We have to always submit the tax in the multiple of tens. So to extract the amount in the multiple of tens, we have to use the M round formula. Okay, I'm sure you everybody learn nested if. I'm sure. Okay, now next. I'm going to move ahead. Now this is the nested if. If and nested if we already learned. Now next formula for today is that is AND. These all are the logical category function. The first if, second is AND if, and then AND. AND. Now AND is what? AND is what? Actually, AND function is also the logical category function. It always gives the result true or false, but it can check multiple conditions simultaneously. Condition 1, comma, condition 2, comma, condition 3, and so on. You can put the n number of commas. You can check the n number of conditions, because the problem is if check single condition, then it will moving to the statement. The first it check the then single condition, that it will check the it will moving ahead. But if I want to check the true condition simultaneously, and when the answer is true, then only I want to specify the true statement. Then how it is possible? I am giving you one very good example. I am giving you the one very good example, but make sure you are learning in a proper way. Okay. Before that, see, here I am having some dates. Now I am going to write some dates. Again, with the help of rand between function. Here, DOJ, that is date of joining. Suppose I am having the employees date of joining. Okay, is equal to rand between 42,000, 44,000. What it is? 44,000 days, 42,000 days from beginning of the Excel, and Excel starts from 1/1/1900, because the programmer, whoever done the Excel programming, he starts the Excel calendar from 1st January 1900. Now I am taking here the so many dates. Okay, now I am selecting dates and I am shifting it the format of date. From here you can set the short date. Okay, and then these are some employees name. I am taking some examples. 01. See, because of the rand between function, it is continuously changing. So what is the solution? Just select Ctrl C, open the paste special, and use the paste value. Okay, fine. Now, what is AND function? AND checks the multiple condition. So I'm typing here the departments also. Departments. Sales, accounts, purchase, then say purchase, sales, accounts, purchase, then admin department. Okay, now I should drag it. Okay, now I want to check both the condition. How? Is equal to AND. The first condition, this employee date of joining. Employee date of joining, right? Date of joining should be less than first, or I can type. Okay, I'm typing here one date, one common date, है ना? First 2017. Okay, now I'm checking here is equal to, and this date should be lesser than or equal to this. Okay, now second condition I am having, this should be is equal to sales. What would be the result? Just check. What would be the result? It will check two conditions simultaneously. If both are true, then it will gives me the true. If both are false, then it will gives me the, and if one true and one false, then it will gives me the false. See, it is giving me false. Why it is giving me false? Because this date is not less than this. If it is, if the first condition is also true, 15, then it is giving me true. Have you understood? See, C4 less than equal to C2. C2 is what? This one. I should put a dollar sign and press double click. Now this is false. Why? Because the department is accounts. Departments is account. Now this is sales, but this condition is not satisfied. Okay, so this is the way how can you use the AND condition. How can you use the AND condition? So if you are using the AND condition, then please take care. Whatever the condition you mentions, if all are the satisfied, then it will gives you the answer true. And if all are like one is satisfied and other one is not, then it gives you the result false. And if both the conditions are false, for example here, both the condition is false, then it is giving me the false result. Getting? Okay. Now, instead of AND, you can use the OR also. Instead of AND, you can use the OR also. Now, what is the difference between AND and OR? What is the difference between AND and OR? See, AND always gives you the true result if all the condition, whatever you mention, are satisfied. But OR gives you the true result if any one of the mentioned condition is satisfied. Getting? If anyone from the mentioned condition is satisfied. Listen carefully. Once again, I am repeating it. And what is the difference between AND and OR? First of all, AND and OR, both are the logical category function. They always gives you either true or false result. Then AND. AND means every condition should be satisfied. Then it will gives you the result true. But what is the OR? OR means anyone from the condition, mentioned condition is satisfied, then it will gives you the true. Okay, this is the difference. Okay, this is the difference. Suppose anyone have the doubt, then please you can write in the chat box. Fine. Now next is I'm going to give you the one very good example. I'm going to give you one very good example. How can you use AND and OR with if? If you want to use AND and OR with if, then you can use in a inner and outer function. See, now I'm going to give you the example. Okay. Now this is the true statement. True. It is giving me the true. Instead of like true, you want like if the person is from the sales department, then commission, you want to mention the commission rate, then if and AND, you can combine it. You can combine it if and AND. If and. C4 greater than E2, C4 less than E2. If C4 less than E2 or D4 and D4 is equal to sales, then commission rate is then commission rate is 10%. If the person from sales department satisfied both the condition, for example, his date of joining is lesser than E2. E2 means what? 1st January 2017. And if the person is from sales department, and his date of joining lesser than E2, then commission rate is 10%. 10%. Okay, 10%. Again, you can start the other condition, nested if, and with the help of this formula and, combination of if and and. If and this less than this. Okay, this one, E2 na? Just a minute. This one. I should select. Okay, now again put the dollar sign. Then, and the second condition I should mention, if the D4 is equal to accounts department. Okay, then commission rate is 5%. 5%. Next condition, if this less than E2. Okay, fine. Now this should be the C4. Okay, this should be the C4. Fine, this should be the C4. Now, and D4 is equal to another department is admin, purchase department. I am taking here the purchase department. Purchases. Okay. Now, the commission rate is commission rate is 3%. Fine. Now, what the permutation combination is? If this date is lesser than this and sales department, then commission is 10%. If this date is less than this and accounts department, then commission rate is 5%. If this less than this and department is purchase, then commission rate is 3%. Another permutation combination is if C4 less than E4. Okay, E2. Then dollar sign. Why I am putting the dollar sign? Because it should be the absolute. And D4 is equal to the next department is admin department. Okay, now the commission should be, I am taking here, commission should be 12%. Commission is rate is 12%. Okay, 12%. And last, I told you earlier, if all the conditions will be dissatisfied. Okay, if all the conditions will be dissatisfied, first you should close the end. This is the end bracket. Here end, and this is the, here is a closing end. Okay, one this, second this, third this, and fourth this. Now last, suppose all the conditions dissatisfied, then commission rate is 0. Commission rate is 0%. How many brackets I should close? 4 ifs. I started 4 ifs, so I should close the 4 ifs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Enter. And D4 is equal to this. I should check where I like done the mistake. Here. See, it should be inverted comma should be closed. Now it is giving me the color. Okay. Now double click. Or with the help of Control D, you can copy the formula. Now you can check permutation combination, how it satisfied the condition. See, presently the which one condition is satisfying? First one condition is satisfying. Then it is giving me the 10% commission. In the next cell, which one condition is satisfied? Second one condition is satisfied. Both the conditions, second if will be executed because I mentioned in the second if I mentioned the two conditions. One is it should be lesser than 1st January 2017 and it should be from accounts department. Then commission rate is 5%. Then here I should check. See which condition, which if is execute here. Which if is execute here. See, I use the nested if. So this condition will be false. So compiler will jump in here. This condition again will be false. Then compiler will jump here. This condition is again will be false. Then compiler jump here. This condition is again will be false. Now the final is if all the condition whatever I mentioned is dissatisfied, then it gives me the result of 0%. Now please check. See, department is accounts, but date is not lesser than 2019. The moment I change the date, suppose I change the date 2015. The moment I change the date, the result will be changed. See, now the result is commission is 5%. Now I'm giving you the understanding again. I'm pressing F2. F2 is a shortcut key to edit the formula. So please take care of the formula. Do it with yourself or like after class. Just do the practice of the nested if and AND. Nested if and AND. What is nested if? If within a if is known as a nested if. And suppose I want to check simultaneously more than one condition. So I can use the if and AND. Combination of if and AND. Getting the point? If you are having still some problem, then you can write in the chat box. You are listening carefully. You are attending the class and you are listening carefully, na? Okay. Now I am moving to the next formula. Still, if you are having some problem, then you can write in the chat box. Okay. Now here, see. Here. I used the nested if and I used the outer function mround also. It will gives me the result in the multiple of tens. It will gives me the result in the multiple of tens. Okay. Fine. So with the help of these two examples, we learn if, nested if and AND. Or I'm not like See, and or, both the things are same. But in a or, if the one condition is satisfied, for example here, okay, we will, instead of and, we'll use the or. So you can check the difference. Here you should use the or. Now try to differentiate between and or. Now results will be difference. If we are using the or, then result will be difference. See this. See now here the result is 10%, but and formula gives us the result of 5%. Why so? Because the thing is, if one of the condition is satisfied, it is giving me say 10%. Why so? Because one condition is satisfied now. Date of joining is lesser than this, but D5 is not sales. Here is written accounts, but it is giving me the result commission rate is 10%. Because if the one condition is satisfied, either or, any one of the condition is satisfied, then it will gives me the true statement. See for here it is giving me commission rate is 3%. F2, I can check. If C10, this is C10, lesser than E2, the condition is not satisfied. Then D10 accounts, it is not, but here it is satisfying now. D2, C10 is not lesser than E2, but D10 is equal to purchases. So that's why it is giving you the commission rate is 3%, and so on. Anywhere you can check. See, it will not provide the false result. It will never provide this result. It will never provide this results. Why so? Because the conditions which I mentioned, any one of the condition is always be the true, na? Then it never gives me the result of true. See, if both the conditions are false anywhere, for example, here 3%, na? Here I'm taking the department, for example, null department. Then it is giving me, now it is giving me the false statement. Why so? Because both the conditions are dissatisfied. First, if both the conditions are dissatisfied. Second, if both the conditions are dissatisfied. Third, if both the conditions of having and dissatisfied. So finally, it is giving me the last result. In the moment I change the date, suppose I change the date 16, then the first condition will be satisfied. Then it is giving me the answer is 10%. Okay. So try to understand if and or, then nested if. If and or, then nested if. We completed these three formulas today. Nested if and or. Very important formulas. If and or. Okay. And with the help of this example, this one, na, I calculate here the tax. What is the slab rate? Slab rate is here. I written here 0 to. I followed this slab rate. Though this is the old slab rate. Now new slab rate is also come. But I'm following this old slab rate. So you can change the slab rate now. 0 to 5 now income is taxable. No taxable income. 0 to 5 lakh because 5 lakh is exempt. 5 to 10 is 5, 10 to 30 and then 30 above. So you can change it. Whatever you have the, I don't know what is the slab rate exactly. So you can follow this. See, here also I used the nested if. And through the nested if I calculate the tax. Okay. Now make sure you learn in a proper way. If and or. If and or. If and or nested if. If and or and nested if. Okay, now the next. See, next I'm going to tell you some date functions, date category functions, date. Right? To enter the current date, there are two ways to enter the current date. The first is control semicolon, control CTRL plus semicolon. This is the way how can we enter the current date. For example, here in this cell, I am pressing control semicolon. So it is giving me the current date. In current date, whatever your system have, whatever your system having. Okay, but if we are using the formula for the current date, you have to use the formula is equal to today. Is equal to today. So suppose I am using here is equal to today. Is equal to today. Is equal to today. Then it is also giving me the current date. So what is the difference between control semicolon? By entering the date with control semicolon or by entering the formula. Okay, now if you are entering the current date by entering the formula is equal to today, right? Then your cell will contain the current date is equal to today will return back you the current date, the date which is updated regularly. Suppose I saved it today, I completed, I finished my work, and tomorrow again I open this salary statement. The date will be 21st December 2023. But if I enter the date with help of control semicolon and I save the work and I reopen the book tomorrow. Today I finished my work. Now I reopen the book tomorrow. Then this date will not update it. This date will not update it. Why so? Because I entered the date with the help of shortcut key. Here is no formula. Please check the formula bar. Please check the formula bar. Here is no formula, but here is formula is equal to today. Is equal to today will return back you the current date and it will update it regularly. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow and any day. Because the formula is equal to today. Now, next. Control shift semicolon. It is giving me the current time. And same thing, the time will not update it. Why so? Because the time will not update it. Because we enter the time with the help of control shift semicolon. The shortcut key is control shift semicolon. But the moment I enter the formula is equal to now, then it will gives me the updated time. After 1 minute, it will be 4:50. Okay, make sure you are learning in a proper way. Make sure. Try to understand the things. Okay, should I move ahead? Okay, fine. So, how can we enter the current date and how can we enter the current time? How can we enter the current date and how can we enter the current time? Now next. Again we are moving ahead. See, there is a okay, now again I am moving ahead. See, presently the time is 4:50. but it is not still updated. So just press F9 key. F9 is a shortcut key to refresh the time, but it will not refresh. See, still it is 4:49. Still it is 4:49. So now the next is here. I'm having some dates here. I'm having some dates here in this sheet. I'm having some dates. Now I want to check employees days. How many days they already joined from the date of join. So current date difference, days difference. So how can I extract? Just insert a one for new column, then is equal to today. I can use the current date formula minus this, enter, and just set it in a general format. In a general format. See, from here you can use the general format. And then double click it. Now you can check the days difference. Now you can check the days difference. Okay, so with the help of today, you can check the days difference. You can use the, again you can use the arithmetic operators. Fine. Everybody can check my screen now. See, this is the way how can you check the difference from the current date. Okay, now drag it. See, you have to set the format because see, you insert a one new column. Then it is taking the date format. Then just take the general format and double click it. Okay, now next. Now the next formula is to extract the month from the date. To extract the month from the date, please remember my listen carefully my words. To extract the month from the dates. Okay, the screen is not moving. Okay, fine.